Have you lost Patrick yet?
No.
No. Can you lose Patrick?
Well, no.
No. You can't lose Patrick. Is Patrick or is Patrick always there?
Well, I'm getting it. Patrick is a sort of thought.
Okay. So Patrick is a sort of thought. So is Patrick always there?
Well, if Patrick is a thought, Patrick in a sense is never there. It's a thought that comes.
Aha. Interesting. Patrick, in a sense, is never there. Yeah.
But that ain't clear, Or it's clear. It's clear sometimes. It's clear sometimes, but
it's clear sometimes. Okay, so Patrick is a thought that's clear sometimes, and sometimes it's not clear. But Patrick is always a thought either way. What else is Patrick? You could say an experience, I guess. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Or you could say a feeling, a sense, again, a sense of separation. That's the one. That's the big one. Big one. Patrick is the sense of separation to everything. Right. There is everything, potentially, and there is Patrick. And Patrick is unhappy because Patrick does not want to feel separate from everything.
Right.
Okay? All of which is still just a thought. So, of course, Patrick is a thought. That makes, at its roots, that makes sense. But whether it's seen as an experience, something, it ultimately doesn't matter. It's thought-based, mind-based, invention, made up. And when I say made up, I don't mean, well, yeah, made up, as in invented, as in not true, in that way, as in not real. But okay, so Patrick wants to not feel separate. But Patrick is the sense of separation. So Patrick wants the impossible. Because Patrick, being the sense of separation, the sense of separation wants not to feel separate, but it's a sense of separation. So per definition, it feels separate. Patrick feels separate. But Patrick, again, is a thought. So Patrick cannot feel. There is just a sense of separation, which has been labeled Patrick here for the sake of talking.
Right.
But so, a sense of separation to what? To the thoughts, to the experience, to life in general, if we englobe it, if we make it a whole thing, life. Following what I'm saying? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, life. Patrick. There's life and Patrick. And then, of course, there is Patrick's life. Patrick owns a life. But again, sense of separation is part of life. So the sense of separation cannot be separate to life because it's a part of life. Literally, it's what's happening. What's happening is life itself. So life itself cannot be separate to life itself because life itself is life itself. It's just a sense of separation. Sense. Which is, oh, I'm separate to the rest. Itself is not actually separate to the rest. There's no separation between I'm separate to the rest and the actual rest, because the actual rest is not even seen, because all is seen is the sense of separation, which is part of the whole, which is nothing at all in particular. None of that can be understood, because all of that is made up ideas. All of that is just a thought once again. What separation to who? Who is separated is just a sense of separation, belonging to no one. Because really, there is still no Patrick, there is still no one to be separate from that. There never has been, there never will be. What separation? What actual separation? Nothing. So there's nothing wrong, actually, with this sense of separation. It appears. Okay. Boom, gone again. Just a thought. Because it's already seen that it's just a thought, that is just a sense. Just like the sense of Patrick. Same thing. Just like the sense of ego, just like this. Life arising as it is. So, but this must go, Max. Sure? Yeah, I hear that. In a way, it's gone here, but it's gone in the sense it's not believed.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean there's not a sense of Max every now and again, but a sense of Max is not seen to be an issue or a sense of separation or anything. Those labels are completely gone, blown into nothing. Because who cares? Right? I am not separate to that. Neither are you. Is this you? Whether it refers to the unknowable you, or the known you, or the Patrick, or the sense of separation, or the body laptop. It's all those things that this I refers to. Does that make sense? It's really all those things that this, and maybe more. Just on top of my head, I'm just giving examples. Seeking energy, or it however you like.
Mm-hmm.
The seeking is this I as well. All of this, those labels, meaning-free labels. What do they actually mean? Nothing. There's just a belief that a label means something, and so okay, these labels are being used, and etc. etc. And so all those teachers, including me, okay, I don't like to consider myself a teacher, but the speakers, whatever, say, okay, so sense of separation and this needs to go and here, but this it's already everything, and everything is all, and all of that labels free of actual charge. They don't mean anything. They're just pointers. There's nothing to get. Mm-hmm. And even there's nothing to get is a label that doesn't mean anything. There really is nothing to get. Because of course there really is no Patrick. But it's not like it's known all the time and felt all the time. There's no Patrick. How could a no Patrick be felt all the time? How? It cannot be felt. Patrick cannot be imagined, cannot be felt, because Patrick does not exist. A sense of Patrick, yes. And we could say, as a label, can be felt, but it's not actually felt, because what is actually felt would be sensations in your body. There is this tightness, Max, that you mentioned earlier, this tightness, and then we call that confusion. Label that will, and I'm not saying it should change. I mean, I'm not saying using those labels, you use labels all the time, of course, but they don't actually mean anything. They're labels. It's called communication, really. It just so happens that there are 7 to 8 billion different body laptops, which all have different understandings of certain words. Now, as general in a culture, like in Ireland, the word grand will be understood pretty much the same. It's grand, right? Now, I spoke English long before coming to Ireland, But the first time I heard the word grand, I was like, what the fuck do they mean? It's all grand. Like, oh yeah, I like it. And of course, pick it up very fast. Yeah, okay, it's just a saying, just it's fine, it's all good, whatever. So what's the crack? What's the what? The crack, like you mean like in your butt, really? What do you mean? Like no, what's the crack? What's the laugh? What's the banter? What's like, labels that are used basically here in Ireland, but even so, so that's why a label word that's used in American English will not be seen the same as a label that is used in English and Irish English, or in my English, which is French English. I have no idea. Labels that don't mean anything in particular, but they're understood a certain way. Because it's all we can do as human beings, literally. Which is why this is nothing, and this cannot be. I cannot make you get it, because there is no you to get it, and there's no me to make you get it. Sure, that's the obvious ground, let's say, truth, for lack of a better word. But also simply because all I can do is use labels. And that's all. Because all I can do is use labels, words, just like it's all you can do, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just all meaningless labels, meaning-free labels. Sad is actually meaning-free. Be sad. So what? I'm unhappy now because I'm sad. Let's make another label unhappy because sad was not enough.
Right.
Because I want to understand what it is. And because if I understand what it is, then I'm not sad anymore. But it's just a so-called seeming happening of life. Who is sad to begin with? Nobody. This is another label. All of that because it was believed that there is a somebody to take care of or to be taken care of, to love, to care for. To die, there's somebody that can die. Really? But the somebody cannot die because the somebody doesn't exist. The somebody is an illusion. It's so freaking easy. It's an illusion. Doesn't mean it doesn't need to be there. It doesn't mean it shouldn't be there. It's an illusion. It's how it is. The illusion is how it is. Nothing to change. You're looking for what exactly? What are you actually looking for? To give other meanings to other labels? Because then I'll understand what it means. And then I am enlightened, or free, or at peace, or bliss, or non-dual state, or etc., etc. Does that make sense? All of which are just labels. Self-love. That was part of my so-called path. Path, again, another label. There's someone on the path to enlightenment or to freedom. To what exactly? But of course, I used to believe that for years. Years. There is somebody on the path. What path and what somebody? Labels, ideas, because I was feeling bad. Who was feeling bad? Who is looking for self-love? Who is looking for love? Who needs love? Nobody. But love is triggered anytime, sure. But again, another label, what you call love, I may call thankful, for example. Or, I don't know, peace, or happy. Which is technically a warm for something else in this bloody laptop, on which, boom, the thoughts, happy, the thoughts, love, the thoughts, peace. Because there is somebody, Patrick, Max, and 7 to 8 other billion individuals that need it. But there is no need for no one, because there is no one to need anything, because all of that is just labels. All of what I said is nothing but thoughts coming and going, which I do not control, because there is no I to control that.
Right.
Where? Labels. Meaningless and meaning-free labels. Potentially full of meaning to no one. Doesn't matter. And now I'm lost. To what? To who? Who is lost? I'm lost in thoughts. I'm lost in labels. How could we be lost in thoughts? Who? What is just thoughts coming and going, which we could label confusion. There you have it, your confusion. And that I want to go. Sure, I get that. But, well, what confusion is just thoughts coming and going. You are not lost. You never lost in thoughts or in feelings or in experiences or wherever else. Because this you is just a thought, part of the whole. The whole, which is you. But not as in, that's what I mean, knowing who you are, but not as in I remember who I am and I know that's what it is. And then I know who I am and so I'm free. No, there's nothing to know. Whether you know who you are or you don't know who you are doesn't make a difference, because all of that still labels, thoughts, ideas, meaning-free labels. A seeker, another meaning-free, meaningless label. Who or what is seeking? Nothing at all. Nothing, which, yes, is just another label. So I need to get this. Do you really? How on earth will you get this? It is all unknowable. I don't know anything what I'm saying. It's just a speaking happening. I'm not trying to know it. It's impossible. And that's what people will make call clarity, sure. But again, another label. I don't know if I'm clear or unclear. I don't question it. I don't know. It cannot be known. Nothing can be known. Known, which, yes, is still a label. So we would need to define known, and known as in remember, as in understood. There is no such a thing as a final knowing in that way. It is just meaningless and meaning-free labels seemingly happening to absolutely no one. No one, which is just another meaning-free label. How could you know you are no one? This you cannot know it is no one, because this you is just a thought, because there is no one. There's a body, there is some body, 2 words, okay? A body, somebody, inhabited by no one.